President saying it, and he does have a credibility in the way he talks. He has this sort of avuncular fashion. He seems like a middle-of-the-roader. He seems like a Leon Panetta or a Lee Hamilton, a nonpartisan guy. He's extremely committed to this war policy, and yet he comes across with that we and that we now know, and it works.
Chris,
it's scary, but it works.
It's nonsense. They know where Zarqawi was. He was in Pakistan.
He wasn't Al-Qaeda.
He wasn't Al-Qaeda. And it's nonsense. It was a mistake. And the officers who supposedly handled the relations between Saddam and bin Laden have come out and now work for American authorities in Iraq.
Okay, let's talk about how this happened. We went to war for a lot of reasons. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it for 10 or 20 years, but the president wanted to go, the vice president wanted to go, the intellectuals wanted to go, the neocons so-called. They all wanted to go for all different reasons. But they made the case we were going to go with the American middle, which who decided we were for this war, by saying there was a nuclear threat. Then they suggested this kind of amorphous connection to 9/11 that somehow, remember the country music, remember how you felt, and all that. It was a continuous drumbeat of the way to get even for what happened to us in New York and in Pennsylvania and at the Pentagon was to go hit them hard in Iraq. That somehow, you know what I mean? They did it over and over for almost 2 years there. What do we do with that kind of propaganda?
It was total propaganda. They went to the CIA, they went to the Pentagon, to Doug Feith, and said, give us talking points so we can go to war. And that's when Tenet's slam dunk came in. He says, yes, we can sell this case to the American people, but the Middle East is complicated, and that's the way they got away with it. It was...
Well, let me ask you for a metaphor. I've been trying to struggle with this, and it's always tricky. Were the people cooking up, like Doug Feith, the people who cooked up the intel and Scooter Libby, when they handed it to their principals, like Cheney, who's a rational guy, Cheney, and the president's, I think, rational, were they like a bartender who kept serving a drunk beer? Just keep giving them what they wanted? I mean, who wanted it? Who wanted the bad intel? Who said, give me that stuff?
Cheney did. He goes to the Situation Room and said, we know Saddam's a bad guy. Give me stuff. And they'd bring
give me a case.
They'd bring in what they could, and they said, no, this isn't good enough. I can't sell a war on this. I want everything. And then he cherry-picked this trash. That intelligence was trash on Saddam.
Well, who wrote the Cohen-Powell statement to the UN? Who put that together?
The CIA did. But the CIA...
Why? They didn't believe in it. Why'd they do it?
Because they were ordered to. They dipped into the tangential intelligence, which was unconfirmed, and they said, if you really want it, here it is. We don't trust it. I know these guys. They're all my colleagues.
You know, fighting an aggressive war is a war crime. Objectively. You can't just fight a war because you don't like another country. You have to have some reason for it, some self-defense reason.
The crime hasn't even started.
Did we fight a war just for aggressive reasons? Or was
Tony Benn, try to pick up what's been said so far.
I was born about a quarter of a mile from where we're sitting now, and I was here in London during the Blitz. And every night I went down to the shelter. 500 people killed. My brother was killed. My friends were killed. And when the Charter of the UN was read to me, I was a pilot coming home in a troop ship. We, the peoples of the United Nations, determined to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war, which twice in our lifetime has caused untold suffering to mankind. That was the pledge my generation gave to the younger generation, and you tore it up. And it's a war crime that's been committed in Iraq, because there's no moral difference. There's no moral difference between a stealth bomber and a suicide bomber. Both kill innocent people for political reasons. And that's why in Britain, the majority against, in America, worldwide, there's no support for the United States in this worldwide. And you're a declining empire, as we were, and you'll learn the truth. You were beaten in Vietnam, as you said yourself. That's why you didn't want to serve there. You said you don't want to die in a Southeast Asia rice paddy. And you'll be beaten in Iraq. And I'm afraid that's the truth.